you, if that's okay. And
Yeah,
then that way you'll
perfect.
have it to refer to for like for future reference. So I'm going to
Yeah, that's
record,
great.
yeah, and then I'm going to do a screen share here so that we can take a look at your account. Here we go. All right. I'm going to close up some of this. Okay, so did I send you an invitation? I think I sent you an invitation to Wix, right? Are you
Yep, I'm on. I've already logged
you're on
in.
there?
Yeah, yeah. I
Perfect.
was just
Okay,
looking at
that's good.
the metrics from the last
Oh, great.
month. Like
Oh, good.
shocking.
Is it,
I
I
couldn't
have
believe it.
not looked. Is it,
The traffic overview.
oh, great. Yeah, you've actually, it's starting to get some traffic, so you can start to actually see some numbers here. That's great. Yeah, look at the mobile.
Yeah,
So a lot of people on mobile. That's really good to know. I mean, it makes sense.
makes
Um,
sense. I think I must have been the Instagram push. And then I was actually also shocked at the direct numbers as well.
yeah, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So that's interesting. Yeah, the Google is still, it takes a while to sort of establish itself in Google, a new domain, but that's great. That's really great. And the average site session is very high. That's very
Yeah,
high.
4 minutes. I thought that was amazing. Like almost five
Almost
minutes.
five.
That's
Yeah, that's good. So people are really looking around, probably really like looking through the photos and all that. That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess you've maybe poked around in here, which is excellent. Have you used Wix before?
I have not. No.
Okay. So the way that you get into the editor itself from this dashboard is when you're on home here, you're going to go to edit site. So it's you have to be
Okay.
on this page and it's in the very top right hand corner, edit site. And I've actually already opened it up. So when you hit edit site, your editor will open up. And this is basically just the site with everything that's clickable. Like the menu doesn't work because you're going to access it through here, but you can adjust everything. So I'll show you some
Okay.
of the things on the
Amazing.
left-hand side. Yeah. So the third button down here is called Pages and Menu. And this is all the pages on your site. So this is how you're going to navigate between the pages, not here,
Okay.
because this is, you know, you would edit the way that the menu looks, but the way that you navigate between the pages is here. So you would, if you want to go to this page, you just click on it and then close this out, and then you're on that page. Um,
Okay.
you can also, in pages and menu, you can also adjust, you know, the order of these just by grabbing these little dots on the left-hand side. You can put them, nest them differently or change their order. This little blue circle here has all kinds of options. If there was a page that you wanted to hide, like maybe your guest house was under renovation or something, you can hide it.
Okay.
Um, if you wanted to make, if you had a new location, but you it was similar design of page and you wanted to create a new page, you could duplicate an existing page and then
Nice.
just change the title of it and then change all the content. But that way it's already kind of set up exactly the same. Um, and
Looks pretty
then other,
easy.
yeah, it's really, really doable. And then obviously delete a page and there's all kinds of things in here. But you probably don't need too much of that. On the at the very top here, add elements. This is all the things that you would ever need to add to your website. So like images, text, buttons, strips are just these full width spaces basically that you put content inside of. Um, and in galleries. So anything you need to add, you would find it in this little plus button here. So let's go to one of the pages, like maybe the home page, and I'll just show you what the site is kind of built from. So this big picture here is a strip. So it's just if I click on it, you see it's just a full width image and it takes up the whole screen. If you want to change the background, you just click on it sort of twice and you'll see change strip background. And when you click on that or any image, you'll get this strip background or image background box. So you can change this to a color or even a video. If you ended up getting some video footage, you can embed a
Nice.
video, or you could just change the image. So if I click on image, it's actually going to open up your site files and your stock photography that you have access to here with Wix. So at the top here, you've got site files. This is all the photos that I've uploaded to the website. Some of them are organized. Some of them are pictures I uploaded early on. So these
Yep.
are the different pictures for the different locations. Um, and then if you wanted to use a stock photo because you didn't have a photo, but you have so many great photos, so I don't know if you'd ever need that. Media from Wix is all free stock photos. So you can look for, you know, a lake, and any photos, obviously these are not relevant, but like you can set a search and there's often really great options. Any photos from Media with Wix or Unsplash are free. And you basically just choose one and then you just hit change background and it puts it in place. It's
Amazing.
fantastic. And it's already optimized and the right size for web. So one thing you should know about is this little undo and redo button. So if I do something
Okay.
like this and I want to get rid of it, I go back. That's really helpful. Going further down the screen here, you'll see everything has these little arrows. So if I click on this and I want to make it bigger, I can, I can drag everything larger, or smaller by using the edges of pictures and the edges of everything. So even this little image here, if I double click on it, there's a little arrow, and if I pull it down, it will, whoops, it will move everything below it. So if you wanted to add something above it, just click on the top thing that you want to make space above and pull the little arrow down and it'll make space below. Um, this is obviously text, header text, a little image, and this is a button. So everything is customizable. Like this button itself, for example, you can customize everything about it. I mean, it's all been designed and you might not want to change anything, but if you ever wanted to change the look and feel of things, you can change everything and the way that it is on hover and everything. The text itself is really easy to change. If you ever wanted to update your copy, you just basically double click it and use it sort of like Word. You know, you can just start changing it by typing. And this text settings box will open up so that you can adjust the theme of the text. So if this is like paragraph one or paragraph two, like you can use some of this the fonts here that are used throughout the site are here. So there's the italic one, and then you know there's some fonts that we've used throughout the site. But you can also choose other fonts, the sizes, the bold and italic. The alignment is really important. That's something that comes up a lot. You might want to adjust the alignment, especially on mobile. So the text settings box opens up every time you click on text, basically. But if you wanted to add more text here, you can either add it below this text box, or you can add it to this existing text, or you could make space for it like this, again, by just grabbing those arrows. Moving down a little bit more, this is another strip, but instead of a picture, it's a color. So we just used a big block of color, and then there's some text over top of it. And this is a strip that has 3 columns in it that have 3 different pictures and then a button over top. So if you wanted to change the order of these, you can just kind of grab them and actually switch them to a different spot, but you'd need to obviously change the corresponding images. And you do that the same way that I showed you up above. So change column background and then just go into your image files. But these are actually buttons that are sitting on top of those pictures. So one thing about buttons is they obviously link to things. So this button, if you go to this little link here, it shows you where it's going. So this is going to the Loft page, obviously. But you can also link to things like web addresses. So if you wanted to link to another company or to like an external address, you can click here and then put in the address. You can link to a part of a page or an email address or a phone number, which I'll show you a little bit further down. So there's all kinds of different things you can link to. But there are a lot of buttons that kind of link throughout the site, and it helps keep people on the site because they're like they just click through and then end up on other pages and all of that. This one here is a slider. So this has 3 different slides that all have different backgrounds. And then they have these little caption things on top. So it's kind of a lot going on these, but it's a fun way of displaying some testimonials. So if you want to adjust any of these testimonials, you can just double click on the text and adjust the text. If this little comment box is too small, you could use a different one. It looked like Jana had a bunch of different ones in her site file or in her branding files.
She did,
Or
yeah.
you could even copy an existing one. So I'm really big on that. If you are creating something new or you need to make something new, try to copy an element that already exists and then reuse it because it's easier. You don't have to um you
Yeah.
don't have to recreate it. So in this case, you would just copy, say this one, and you could just literally press Control C and then Control V, to copy that
Okay.
entire thing. And then you can just adjust the text. So you can
I
do that
love
with
that,
any.
by the way.
Oh, good. That's great. I'm glad
Yeah,
you like that. I don't know if it would be too busy or it's kind of fun. And you can
that
change
was
up the,
perfect.
yeah. And obviously when this is in the editor, you won't see any of the motion. So all the little animations and the slider, you can only see them when you're in preview mode, which is what I'll show you up here. I just press this little preview button up here, and that shows you what the site looks like when it's live. So if you've made a change, you want to check it out, you can see how everything kind of floats in and all of that. And that's really helpful without pressing publish. And then you just go back to the editor.
I have a
If you,
question about, just a quick question about, back down to the Airbnb coach and mentor.
yeah.
I click on the button that says contact me, I think it says,
Uh,
down a little bit further. Right there. I'll learn more.
oh, learn,
So if I click
learn
on that,
this one here, learn more.
yeah, if I
Okay.
click on that button that says learn more,
Mhm.
it doesn't work for me because I don't have,
You don't have Gmail or you
I
don't have
guess it's Microsoft
yeah,
email. I
we,
don't know.
yeah, let's change that. Let's change that. So we can send people to the contact page if you want. Would you prefer that? Um,
Yeah,
if
what does
they,
the what does
let's go to that page and take a look. Mm. So the contact page is here. I'm wondering if we need, why don't we do a little bit more for the mentor thing? Like, why don't we have a separate page about that? I feel like we need
that would be
another,
amazing. That
yeah,
would be
because
amazing because that's
yeah.
that's my next kind of push is
Mhm.
for our business is to get people to that I can refer to that program because
Okay, so
Airbnb pays me to do that.
they do. That's awesome. That's great. Okay, why don't we could put maybe the mentor that was on the homepage. We could have a separate page called Airbnb mentor or Airbnb coach or something, maybe under about, like falling under about, or
Yeah,
and then when people click this learn more button, it will take them to that page.
yeah, that'd be great.
And then yeah, and then they can contact. Okay, so under about. Okay, so I'll do that. Yeah, that's a good catch because yeah, I actually don't know why I put that going to an email address. I don't usually do that on desktop. I was probably not sure where to send people from
Yeah,
Learn More, and that doesn't, yeah, thanks for catching that. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so we'll do
awesome.
that.
Thank you.
For now, yeah, for now, until I've designed that page, it's just going to the contact page, which makes more sense than the email anyways.
Okay,
Um,
perfect.
and
And
then
that was
down,
another question I had. So I guess I probably should have actually just filled it out myself. So when I had someone subscribe,
okay.
but I don't know what message they're getting once they have subscribed to the newsletter. But I just thinking to myself, I should have just subscribed.
Right. Well, all of that is customizable and we can take a look at what that looks like in the back end. Basically, I'll just show you really quickly. In this dashboard, there's a section here called communications and forms and submissions are here. So when people click to join your mailing list, you can, I just want to make sure that you're on the notifications. I'm assuming you are. Yeah, perfect. Um, you can set up different automations so that if someone submits that form, they get a certain note and all of that, and that's
Yeah,
all
so
customizable.
maybe that's something I could kind of take on. So under forms and
Yeah.
submissions.
Well, actually, it's so I just wanted to show you where that form
Oh
was,
yeah,
but the
communication.
automations is just underneath communications. So if I just start here and I go to create an automation, for example, you'll see if somebody submits a form, so you could set this up, for example, because I think that's what you're looking for in this case. If someone submits a form, you want to have a certain message. So the trigger is someone submitting the form. And then you can actually set the timing so it doesn't send it right away or like whatever you want. Like, there's all kinds of psychology around when that should arrive.
Right.
It feels more authentic if it takes like 10 minutes or something. I mean, people have all these different theories. So then the action is to send an email. So you can send an email. You can create a task for yourself, like an internal notice that someone has subscribed. You can Yeah, there's all these different things that you can do and lots of different integrations, but generally you're going to have an email send, and then the email is here. So create an email. If you go to edit here, you'll be able to first add your sender details so people know who you are. Da, da. Oh, okay. So you're going to put Ross Crossing, or you could just have your name. Like it depends on what you want to.
That probably make it a little bit more personal.
Yeah. So this is the from name. So people are the from on the
Oh,
email
okay, they're gonna want to
will be
know. They're gonna, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
okay. So I'll just save that for now. Yeah, you're gonna have to they have to do like a two-step authentication to make sure that
Yeah.
you are receiving email and all that. So I'm not going to be able to go much further with this. But basically, if you go in there, you can edit the email. I'll just close this for now. But if you click on here, you can edit the message and you can actually brand it a little bit. You can put your logo and stuff. It's kind of like your
Yeah.
email marketing. So play around with that. I don't think you'll have too much trouble, but it's under automations. And then you
Automations.
can
Okay.
activate it. Yeah, automations. And then you can activate it at the top right-hand corner. Make sure you
Yeah.
activate it, and then that will happen. I think right now, when it's just a form, I think it's a very basic message that comes up that just says, thanks for submitting or something. But
Okay.
it is good to have an email, just that touch point. And also it's giving people your email and all of that.
I might
So
also put in there something about the, are you thinking of becoming an Airbnb host?
yeah, definitely.
Redirecting them. Yeah. Okay.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Because you never know why they're joining the mailing list, right? And
Yeah.
you can even add things here. Like we could add a bullet point, like, are you interested in Airbnb? Are you interested in being a mentor? Like you could add
Right.
something that you wanted. Because this is a little form. If I click on this, see it's a little form, and anything I put in here, I can add new fields. I could add in the basic fields here, like a little checkbox field or radio buttons,
Cool.
that kind of thing. So there are lots of different things that you can do with these forms, but maybe start with that automation and see
I'll play
see
around
how
with
that
that for
works for
sure.
you. Yeah. Um, yeah, so this is the header of the site is the same on every page. It's a little translucent so that you're seeing this picture behind. It just gives it kind of an airy feel. And the footer as well is on every page. So that's the same no matter which page you're on. Let me see if I go down here. So other things up here, save. If you're working on some content but you're not ready to publish it, you can just hit save and that will save it in the back end in the editor, but it's not live. So if you
Okay.
hit publish, it's live. If you hit save, it's just in the back end. And there's actually an auto save on here. So every minute or so it saves automatically, but it's still a really good idea to hit save. So let's look at one of your properties here because you might change photos or something like that. So this is again just a full width strip with some text over top, and it's all branded. You've got a little bit of text here, and then this is a gallery. So if I double click on this, you'll see it's a gallery, and I can't change these pictures individually because they're actually part of a group of pictures called a gallery. So to change the gallery pictures, you just go to Manage Media, and that opens up the gallery. And these are all the pictures that I've uploaded to this specific gallery. And I can move them around so you can grab them and you can change the order of them to whatever you want. You can add names and details to them, which is good for search engine optimization. I didn't really know the details, so that's kind of something that you could do if you wanted. That is when, if somebody clicks on an individual picture, it could open up in its own page and then they can scroll through them there. I have to look at the settings to see if I allowed that. I think I removed the title, which would have been like JPEG 659. I
Right, yeah,
removed
yeah,
that
yeah,
because I don't
yeah.
want people to see that. But if
Yeah,
you want to go in and give titles and descriptions, that's good. And alt text as well, which is kind of a description of what you're looking at. That's always really good for SEO, but it takes a bit of time to do. If you wanted to delete a picture, you can go into here and remove it. And if you wanted to add a picture, you just go into add media, and that again opens up your site files, which is all the places where you've got everything already. And if you upload pictures for a certain property, maybe put them in the right folder so that you can find them more
yeah.
easily. You can make new folders here. And one more thing about uploading pictures that's really important, especially since you're a photographer and your photos are really high quality. Before you upload photos to the site, you're going to want to make sure that they're optimized for web, because if you have tons of
Right.
really, really huge files, you'll just slow down the site like crazy. And the way that I usually do that is by using this app called Squoosh. It's really easy. You just type in Squoosh dot app, and it just comes up on the page like this, and you basically just grab a picture and drop it on the page. So if I go into let's see, if I go
This is
into my,
amazing, by the way, because I had a photographer come, a friend of ours come and take some photos, and I couldn't use any of them on Instagram because they're too big.
yeah, yeah, it's a huge problem. And a lot of photos, even on cell phones, are just way too big. And they are obviously too big to use, or they just completely
Yeah,
bog down your site. So here I've just grabbed a picture and I just plunked it onto the screen. And what you do is on the bottom left, you go to open say browser JPEG is what I usually use for websites. So I click on browser JPEG, and that is going to shrink the photo down to the size that you need for a website. Now, I've already shrunk this photo, so it's not that impressive, the size change. But if I go to, for example, let me see, like this photo here. Um, See, this, putting it at browser JPEG is going to reduce the size to, it's going to reduce the size of it 38%. Often it'll reduce the size like 95%, like it's
oh
substantial.
wow.
And you can actually, you can make it even smaller depending on how large the photo is going to be on the site. And this will show you what it looks like before and after. And
Oh my God,
often,
cool.
yeah, often you can't tell any difference. Like the
No,
eye can't even tell. Um, the other thing you can do, if in your case, if you're looking to resize a photo, is you can go to resize here and you can actually change the size of the actual image. So that might be helpful for you if you're looking to
yeah,
actually not just change the quality, but change the actual size of the photo. You can play around with that. And then basically when you've got, um, sorry, let me close this up. So once you've chosen browser JPEG, you just hit download and it downloads it in that smaller size.
awesome.
Um,
Love
yeah,
it.
so again, just plunk the picture on the page, put it to browser JPEG and download. So it's really quick. And then it will be in your downloads. And then when you go into Wix, upload that one. So
Okay.
upload the shrunk picture. Really easy, totally worth doing because it won't slow your site down. So the gallery, you can play around with that. I think I have a certain number of pictures so that there's 2 rows. So you're going to want to make sure that, I mean, depending on the size of your screen, it'll adjust, but it's nice to have it kind of clean. And then this is just text at the bottom with links. So again, with the linking, This text here has a little bit of text at the bottom that also links. You can grab any text and hyperlink it to whatever you want in the same way, just with a little link button. If I go up to, let's see, your contact page. Yeah, these are buttons, but they don't look like buttons. They're just, if you click on them, you can see that they are actual buttons, but again, they're just linking. And then this is your contact form here. So you're gonna receive messages in your email box from
Right.
there. And you'll see those again also in here. So you can respond in here in the inbox if you get messages through forms, or you can just respond in your email, which is easier. Um, so those are the two forms, the mailing list and the contact form. The last thing I'll show you in here really quick is is your mobile site. So let me go back
Oh
to
yeah.
the homepage here. So if you make any changes, it's a good idea to check the mobile, and you do that right here. You just click on this, and this shows you what it looks like on mobile. So we've got everything kind of organized in a way that looks better on mobile. You can make adjustments by clicking and again using these little arrows to make a bit more space, to move things up and down, or you can just move them wherever you want. Wix has it gives you these little lines to help you line
Yeah.
everything up perfectly, which is really helpful. And on mobile, you can actually delete things and it won't impact the desktop version at all. So, for
Oh,
example, on here, there are some elements that I've actually deleted, little boxes or lines or details that made sense on desktop, but on mobile, they're just cluttery. So you can delete them. So any changes you make on mobile do not affect the desktop version, but not the other way around. So any changes you make on desktop do affect the mobile version, which is why I always do the desktop version first, because you don't want to be having a ping pong back
yeah.
and forth changing it. The menu on mobile, if you double click it, you'll see it's a little hamburger menu. And again, you might want to go into preview to see how it looks live. So all of this can be adjusted the way it looks, but it kind of looks like that. And the mobile site also has these mobile tools. So you've got a little back to the top button, which helps people scroll back up to the top really quickly if they've scrolled down, because the page can get quite long. And it also has this little quick action button here, which has your email, Facebook, and Instagram links, which is really good for just getting in touch quickly. And if you want to have something else here, we can add it. So for example, we could add like a custom one for Airbnb. I just didn't know which link to use for Airbnb because you have the three different
Yeah.
listings. Do you
That's
have
why yeah, that's why we created this website. So people
yeah,
have we just have one click basically.
exactly. So if you can think of something else that you want to add here to this quick action bar, let me know. But this is the ones that I chose for now, so people can contact you quickly or get to your social media. So if there's another social media that you want to add, we can do that. Just let me know. And again, with the mobile site, you're going to navigate between the pages here, pages and menus in the same way. And then they have this little add button, but it's kind of a pared down menu of options. So there's not as much that you can add to mobile. It's a little bit simpler because you're kind of working with what's designed on desktop. So of course, don't forget to save changes if you make any changes on mobile. Do you have any questions about any of this so far?
No, everything looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah, good. I think you'll find it's quite straightforward. There's really nothing in here that you need to worry about. We don't have a content manager I'm using. You don't need to worry about any of this site design. It's all done. It's just pages and menu and add elements that you need to worry about. So I'm just going to quickly hop back out here to your dashboard and see if there's anything in here I want to show you. It's great you're already looking at the analytics. The behavior overview is also really interesting. You can see the flow of traffic and where it goes on the site. You can kind of see what people are interested in. when they're on the site. Like if they come and they go to become a mentor, you might have a lot of people that are interested in that and maybe develop that part of your website a little bit more. So you're getting a lot of people on the homepage. They start on the homepage and then they go to the cabin treehouse.
Yeah,
So that's the
I
most
figured it was the
popular.
cabin
Yeah.
trios.
And then like a lot of people going to the guest house and then like a small percentage just going to contact. So people are probably linking through from those cabin tree house, guest house, and loft through to Airbnb because that's where they're leaving. They're leaving on
Right.
those ones. But
I
that's what
see.
you
Okay.
want. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you want them to do anyways. But it's really interesting to see where people go.
What is that? New
Um,
leads. What does that mean?
so new leads is if people submit a form like through the like newsletter subscribe or a form on your contact page, that is considered a lead. And site members, I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe that's you and me.
It might be you and me. Yeah, I'm actually not sure what that is. If normally that's if you have a site where you can have memberships and stuff. It'll tell you how many new members you have and all that. But yeah, there's tons of information here. So clicks to contact page or clicks to contact are here, the number of people that are going there. And then this also shows uh, the most popular pages and all of that. So it's just kind of interesting
Yeah, it's
to
really
look in
cool.
here. And then marketing and SEO, there's all kinds of tools in here. I've already done the basic SEO for you that comes with Wix, and it's really, really decent. It's under SEO here. And
Oh, sorry, what does SEO mean? Oh, search engine
sorry,
optimization.
search
Yeah.
engine optimization is basically the things that you set up to help people find your website online.
Right. Okay.
You can keep working on it just gives like continuous suggestions for things you can do. You can see it's suggesting you add alt text to your images, which is like descriptions of what the picture is, because
Yeah.
all of those things are opportunities for Google to find that picture, and
Yeah.
then people might click on the picture and end up on your website. So there's tons of things you can do. You can go through here and like it just gives suggestions for things that you can do. I wanted to go through some of these keywords with you because I made up some keywords, some long form keywords that people might search for that are associated with the content on your page. So I've got Airbnb Lanark, best Airbnb Lanark County. Like these are, I'm just trying to think about what people might search for. Places to stay near Perth, Ontario, top Airbnb Ottawa, Airbnb ambassadors. So like we can change those up. You can only have five
Okay.
keywords here, but what would you do with those keywords?
Like, I mean, what other ones would I?
Or would you change any of those? Or any of those not relevant for you? Like
No,
what do you
no, I like all of those. The cabin treehouse seems to be really popular, so I'd probably add something about with cabin and treehouse.
Hmm.
Um, then
Okay, that's good to
maybe
know.
focus on, like Ottawa, or not really Ottawa, but Ottawa Valley or Lanark County, or trying to
Yeah.
target a place.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got Lanark County there. This one's Perth, you know, and I added one with Ottawa.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
perfect.
hard. It's really tricky with the keywords because if they're too broad, then the competition's insane. If they're too specific,
Yeah,
then no one's ever going to search for them. So it's kind of trial and error. But you
yeah,
also want the keywords to match what's on your website content wise, because that's what makes sense for Google, and it will rank higher if like the keywords match with. And actually, Wix will flag it if you choose keywords for a plumber and then your website's an Airbnb, it'll say this don't
yeah.
match.
This
Like
doesn't
this
make
isn't
sense.
working.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, anyways, you can play around with that as well with the keywords. But mostly you're going to just be looking to add content to your site if you want to beef up your SEO. Like having a blog is always a really good idea. It's a great way to add new content to your site. Adding new writing to your website is always a good
yeah.
idea. Or even just making changes. It just shows that the site is relevant and current and up to date. So that's search engine optimization. There's a little bit of email marketing stuff in here that you can use. There's an email marketing program that's built in, and it allows you to use a certain number of emails. So it depends on how many email addresses you have and then how many emails you want to send.
Yeah, so this was one of my main questions. So I have about 100 emails,
Mm-hmm.
and I just actually saw the newsletter that Deb put out from Bend Wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do something like that?
Yeah. So under email marketing here, you're just going to go, you can either use one of these templates or start an email from scratch. And I think it will have other templates as well. Um, you can choose different themes. Like it kind of helps you design it. But basically, she would have gone into this email marketing section here, and you can just change everything. So you just change the text, you can change these images or remove them, add whatever you want. So you, similar to the editor, you're going to go to add text, images, a logo, and you just kind of design it in
Okay.
here. And then you can have a call to action at the bottom that's maybe going to link people to your website or to your Airbnb listings or whatever is relevant for you, and put in your contact details down here. So you would just design it in here. I don't know if you've ever used MailChimp or anything like that, but it's kind of
No,
similar.
so I see the next step, add recipients. So I'm like, how do I then send it to
Yeah.
them? So I have
Yeah.
to,
So,
oh,
yeah.
you
So
said
you're,
Excel. We could upload from Excel.
yeah. Yeah. You can actually upload, if I come out of here, you can add, mhm. You can add people. You can build your mailing list or start by importing your mailing list. You can
Yeah, okay.
upload, it'll show you how to format it, and you can upload your contacts from there. And then they're in your system. So then when you're creating this draft, it'll say add your recipients, and you can have them all in like a folder or something that's called, cross crossing email people. And then you just choose those and it'll send it. And anybody who submits the subscribe on your website will automatically be added into your site contacts as well. So it's really handy.
Okay. So,
They do have some limits on the email marketing with Wix for the free. This is just the free bit that kind of comes with your lowest levels Wix subscription. I think you can send well, with 100 emails, you can probably send a few emails a month. I think you're allowed to send five 500 emails, which means like one email to 500 people. So you might be able to send 4 or 5, depending on how
okay.
many emails you have, but they keep changing it. So I'm not sure
Yeah,
where they're at
okay.
with it right now. But if you
That's
ended
fair.
up building your list and you had a huge list, you could upgrade to one of their marketing plans where you can, they give you more access to more, or we could move you over to MailChimp and integrate Wix with MailChimp so that you can use
Yeah,
that.
perfect.
So, but it's nice
Okay.
you only have 100 right now. You can kind of get your feet wet with it and see how it goes. There's all kinds of other marketing integrations in
The
here,
other
like,
the other
yeah.
big question I had was the next one on there, Facebook and Instagram ads. So
Mhm.
have you ever done an Instagram ad?
Um, we're gonna get cut off any second now. So if we do, I will send you a link, okay? Um,
Okay.
yes, I have. Actually, it's just gonna cut me off. So I'm gonna send you a new link right now, okay?
Okay, thank you. Yep.
Okay. I'll see you in a second.
Okay.
Mm, ah.